there is a new push to try to kick former President Trump off of the Illinois primary ballot for his part in the January 6th insurrection.
WGN's Kelly Davis is live in the loop now with more on what happens next in the process. Kelly.
Ben and Lourdes, Illinois is now the 18th state to join in this growing list of states challenging Trump's candidacy for the presidential election. The objection was filed this morning and points to his role in the insurrection nearly 3 years ago, claiming he is not eligible to run for president. A chaotic scene at the Capitol nearly 3 years ago. Many people claim former President Trump encouraged these riots and want him blocked from running for re-election.
It's very difficult for him to contest the role that he played in the January 6th attack and insurrection, given the way that he's endorsed so many of the things that have happened.
Karen Lederer represents a group of voters who argue Trump is disqualified as a presidential candidate under the 14th Amendment for the role he played in the insurrection. But whether or not he appears on the ballot depends on state rules.
In Colorado, of course, the Colorado Supreme Court said Trump could not appear. But in Maine, it's the Secretary of State who's empowered to do that. In Illinois, some might think it's the Illinois Election Board that might be able to do something, but they cannot.
However, that's where the process starts. The Illinois Board of Elections says there will be hearings on the objection at the end of this month. Board members will vote on it, but both parties can appeal their decision, so this could end up in the hands of the Illinois Supreme Court.
That raises the question, well, what are they likely to do? And all I can suggest is that our Illinois Supreme Court is dominated by or controlled by Democrats. One would argue that they would find the president's conduct to be in violation of the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment.
Trump's team has argued that removing a presidential candidate from a ballot is unprecedented, but objectors say so is a candidate's involvement in an insurrection.
So much of this case relies on facts that Donald Trump himself does not dispute and often brags about.
As a historically blue state, President Trump has a slim chance of winning a general election in Illinois. So why is this an important step to take?
In a primary situation, removing the former president's name off the ballot could impact how the state votes in a primary. And I think that's what this is all about. It's more about the primary than it is the general.
The Illinois Board of Elections will certify the ballot at its meetings next Thursday, so a week from today. And as it stands right now, Trump will be certified to the ballot, but next to his name, you'll see objection pending if this stands. Reporting live in the loop, I'm Kelly Davis, WGN News.